what risk are you willing to take to get what you want? When I decided I was going to become a motivational speaker, there were people who thought it was impossible for me to become a keynote speaker, from a doorman carrying bags to the big stage in front of thousands of people. Ladies and gentlemen, opportunities are everywhere in this country, but only to those who are willing to go an extra mile. Do you know why people think or know that it is impossible for you? Because it is impossible for them, and they automatically assume it's impossible for you. You know what a champion is? A champion is a person who will go as far as the person can go. When the person reaches the limit, go an extra mile. So I encourage you to go an extra mile.
Whether you're a businessman or a student or an individual employee, if you've got circumstances that you think are tough, you're not going to believe Rene's story. Growing up as a young child in Haiti, coming to the United States underneath a truck. This man's story is amazing, and we have him on In-Depth.
He's called the village hero.
I was born in a little village in Haiti, very primitive. We had no running water, no electricity, and we didn't have any plumbing and no access to medical care. Life was really, really, really tough.
Well, when I was a little boy, I was just as deprived as the one you saw on your television. Today, I am the luckiest man alive because I am living in the United States of America. Ladies and gentlemen, opportunities are everywhere in this country, but only to those who are willing to go an extra mile.
Now, when you came from Haiti, you came with very little, didn't you, Rene?
Very little. $5. I had a tiny suitcase. To this day, I travel across the country with my little suitcase. I have my most precious belonging. It's in it. Is the flag of this country, which, you know, for years before 9/11, I was traveling around showing it to people. And 2 shirts and 1 pair of pants.
I came to America in 1983, and I came with $5, 2 shirts. I didn't speak any English. English was very confusing for me. Believe it or not, the first 2 words I learned were same thing. And then I don't believe in reinventing success. I believe in modeling success. You know what I did? I began to use those 2 words to the max. I would go to McDonald's. At the time, they didn't have number 2, number 3, no numbers. So I looked at the menu. I'm a Haitian boy. I don't know what's going on, and I couldn't make sense out of the menu. I'd stand right behind the guy in front of me. May I take your order, sir? Guess what I said? Same thing, I got to eat a lot of same thing I didn't like. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to pay real close attention to what I'm about to say. I saw many of you at the hotel. I greeted you. I carried your bags, and some of you might remember me. Anybody here remembers me? I remember Oz and a few people. That's right. That I remember seeing at the hotel. I was, just carrying the bags. I had this big smile and this great attitude, but I was a doorman with a dream. I remember when I met Mr. Lance Osborne, and I was standing right by the podium. I just finished unloading his bags, and I told him, sir, I'm a speaker, sir. I want to be a speaker one day. I'm going to be a motivational speaker. I'm going to travel the country. And he was such a king bee. And when Lance saw me saying this to him, he saw the fire in my eyes, in my belly, and he came. He did something that I shall never forget. He touched me. Ladies and gentlemen, you will never understand the power of a touch. Now, I know there is sexual harassment and all kinds of things. You can't touch the people at work. But what if you touch them emotionally? What if you just said something that really make them feel good inside? That's what a bee does. That's what inspiring others to go an extra mile is all about. I couldn't wait to go to that audience, to stand on that platform and to tell them, good morning again. Because I saw you in my imagination so many times when I was a doorman. I was carrying your bag. You know what Lance told me? he told me that you're going to make it. You're going to be a speaker. Yes, I believe it. I can see it in your eyes. And that day he gave me his card. And I took the card. I really believed him. You know, you never know what you tell to somebody in your field as a trainer, as a state sales coordinator, or regional or district. You never know what you might say to somebody, and they will believe you and take the ball and run with it. And I went home and I put Mr. Osborne's card next to my desk for 10 years. Every day I look at that card. When I was a doorman, when AFLAC would come to have your big conference, I would wait at 11 o'clock when I get off, when they prepare the room for the speaker. What I used to do, I used to come on stage. I'd rehearse this moment that I'm standing in front of you. That's the power of a dream. You know, I didn't know how to dress when I came to America. I didn't own a suit. But at the door, I began to watch the people how they dress. To this day, I don't know what this little handkerchief, I don't know what it means, but hey, you see?
But how did you know which books to read?
You know how I learned which books to read? When I was parking your cars, and I'd see you have those tapes in the back seat of your car. I was a doorman. I was not a dumb man. I picked up the phone. The voice said, "This is Lance L. Osborne." I said, "I know, sir." He said, "How do you know?" I said, "I waited for that call for 10 years, sir. I knew one day you would call me." I said, "Wait a minute, now let me prove it to you." I said, "Your name is J. Lance Osborne. Your title is Regional Sales Coordinator." He said, "You are right about my name, but everything else is wrong." "How come, sir?" He said, "Now I'm vice president of the company." I believe sometimes you ought to fake it until you make it. They say you become what you think, and I say you become what you fake. And people say, "Well, that's unethical." No, it's not unethical. It's even biblical. It says when you pray, believe and act as if you already receive it. Maybe today is the day you begin acting as if you already have it. And then step out with full force. Take a risk. If you get anything out of this, is if this guy can come to America with $5, 2 shirts, 1 pair of pants, didn't speak any English. Today he's living the American dream. Ask yourself, what have you been talking yourself out? What is it that you can do and you're not doing what you're supposed to do it? I challenge you to go back and see all the opportunities that you in this room have created, and begin to inspire your team to really see them, and to be a bee, and to encourage them to take advantage of each and every single one of those opportunities. There is money. There are a lot of millionaires in this room, and there are a lot more millionaires that are about to be created. Will you be someone from your team? I am glad, ladies and gentlemen, I'm an American. I have opportunities. I can take advantage of them. At least I know I'm free. I'm free. I'm free. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.